It's my honor to introduce Paul Newell and Carmel Surritt to this presentation this evening, and I'm really grateful. Two men that I get to know at some level, one more than the other, and the other one growing into more, which make me proud and happy to be a part of the organization and understand the depth of what happens in this organization as you get more and more involved, the connections that help you grow and change and help you see hope and promise in the future. Men like you are really making that happen, and I'm grateful for that. Your engagement, both of you have been facilitators in the new program, Men's Work, which is actually not new anymore, and just streaming through the country in the project, and you were in the beginning of that, so grateful for that. Paul, your work with doing membership with Brothers of Difference, all the different ways you've worked through the program, and Carmel, you too, with the facilitation of the men's work. And particularly, I'm grateful for your work with curriculum the last over 2 years, followed me in that lead role and have made a huge, huge difference. And the time for you to be in that role has been perfect for the organization. So thank you for that. You have a program, both of you have a program that you've built and are wanting to present to us tonight, and change your words, change your life. So thank you for that. I'm going to give it to you both now, and we'll talk more along the way. So thank you for being here and doing that. It's yours.
Cool. Well, I'm going to start off by thanking Boyson for his wisdom, because a couple years ago, he said, I need a facilitator for this class, and we're going to put you in pairs. I need you to meet this guy, Paul. Mm-hmm. And man, I'm choked up. Life-changing for me to make this connection. Absolutely. And so we did. We got a chance to play in the men's work together for a couple years, and off and on, and just love the way we get a chance to dance together when we get to work together. And a little bit of background, we were working with John Tompkins in the red and green language for a couple years, and due to circumstances we didn't see, that shifted. And Paul and I were so tuned in to what a game changer it was, what John shared with us, that we just took the ball and ran. And we keep grabbing that ball and keep running with it. So we're going to show you a little bit of what this is all about tonight. And we're going to give you a chance to practice it a little bit, to hear it and practice it, because just like the NWTA, it's experiential. It's the feeling that you get. It's the mindset that gets shifted and changed that sparks the passion to learn this technology. And I'm thrilled to bring it. So I'm going to turn it over to Paul to give you some more background and how this works and what it's about.
Yeah, so I like to give the examples of how it's impacted me, because being in the men's work in Carmil, it kept telling me about this damn book for like 3 months, and I was like, shut up already, I'll read it. And then like once I read it, I was like, damn, this is really incredible. And I tested it out in relation to my former wife. Now, I got divorced about 3 years ago now. Really tough to heal. I had a healthy amount of anger towards this woman. So when I started working with John and Carmel, John and Carmel would practice this, I would practice speaking green language, as John would say it, to my former wife. Now, the wild thing is as I began to learn more about this language, how I could speak differently to my former wife and also to myself, I've noticed over the past year, the point right now where we're going to do private child support. Now, some people may be like, that doesn't sound that big of a deal. But for me, I've had a lot of court situations over the past 5 years, which has driven my anger towards her. So me learning a different form of communication so that we could get along, so we could be partners in raising my son, was extremely important for me to learn and then for me to share. So in this class, when we say change your words, change your life, we go into this course to talk to the simple things that we say every single day that have an impact on someone else. Now, as an example, has anyone ever seen like a beverage, right? Or maybe let's say water, and something loud or something resonant strikes by the water. What happens on that? What happens there? It can be crowd participation. Yeah, like a ripple, right? A ripple. It's the same thing with our words. Our words are like a frequency, like a radio station. So when we say certain things in certain ways, they carry in and people will receive them certain ways. Now, the thing with this language and what we're going to practice a little bit of today is we're going to practice how we can truly express ourselves and be clear in our language. Now, the thing that happens when we're unclear in our language, there's a lot of confusion. Like, for example, for anyone that has ever worked in a corporate environment, maybe you've heard the saying, you know what, you got to be better to the customers. Has anyone ever heard that? Or maybe it's just me. Or you got to do a better job. Now, has anyone ever had the question, what the hell does a better job mean? I have. Now, when that piece happens, we go into fight or flight because now the body sees us as a threat. It's uncertainty, right? So we're going to practice some of these words that can, or actually before we practice, we're going to become aware of some of these words that we speak on a regular basis that can create confusion and trigger our fight or flight. So these three words, Julian, I'm going to ask, Julian said them before, but, should, not. So if you're by a piece of paper, or if you're on mute, you can say them, but, should, not. Right? But, should, not. You write those three words down. Now, Carmel, what do you say? Do you want to take them to the break room, or you want to give them a little bit more detail, background?
Yeah, I'm going to give the acronym for the but and why that triggers the reactionary part of the brain is I had a teacher earlier in my career that said but is an acronym, and it really confused me. I'm like, what kind of acronym is it? And he says, well, it stands for behold the underlying truth. Mm-hmm. And I said, well, help me out with that. And he says, well, you did a good job, but, which means everything I said before the but is bullshit. Here comes the real shit. And that means this other shoe's going to drop. It comes from experience as a kid, and you're getting parented, or you're getting twisted praise when you're growing up. And that level of confusion, that level of threat completely shuts down the executive brain and the prefrontal cortex, where imagination and creativity and understanding and being able to conceptualize and really understand each other gets turned off as soon as I drop into the as Paul says, the amygdala hijack, or that fight or flight response. So
Carmel, I'm laughing here because as soon as you said you did a great job, but I started visualizing like a flashing all these times in my life where people were like, hey, this is great, but, and thinking, oh shit, what is about to happen? So but like, I don't know if anyone else can relate to that, but this is where this but comes in, and there could be some something's coming. Thanks for patience, Carmel. I didn't want to interrupt, but I had to put that in.
Or the worst, I love you, but yeah. So
I've said it though. I've said it. I can't kid you.
Yeah, and the other two are there because they're just as powerful. And the second one is the should. And the should, if you think about how that lands in your body, and we work with that, what we're feeling in the body, the should triggers shame. Because I didn't do what I should have done, what I was supposed to have done. And that triggers that response again. And now I'm into reactionary. And then the last one is not. Mm-hmm. And the not is thinking about it as a kid. And the mom says, I don't want you to leave your dishes in the family room. And that sounds pretty simple as an adult. What do I do with the dishes? As a child, it's like, okay, which room would you like me to leave them in? Or where should I put them? Or what do you want me to do with them? And that, again, that confusion that Paul talked about a minute ago triggers that fear response. So we're going to give you a chance. You want to set this one up for the first breakout?
Yeah. Well, so, I mean, with the amount of people, do we want to do a breakout? Or do we want to
do it all together right here? Yeah.
Okay. So let's do that. We're gonna have some. We're gonna switch it up a little bit. So here's what we're gonna do. Because Carmil and I, we got to really learn and know each other through the men's work, and since we've been facilitating, one of our favorite check-ins is for week 2. No, I think it was for week 2. Or when they were coming back. So here's the check-in. I'm gonna state this check-in, and as each man goes, I'd like you to do your best to become aware of how many times you hear but, should, and not. So to give you an example of the not, it's like Carmil said, I don't think, I don't want, I didn't do, those things, all right? So yes, thank you, Kerry. So the check-in is in the chat. The check-in is, I could be the man I want to be and live the life I want to live if. Okay. So I'm gonna give it a little tester. All right. So testing 1, 2, so you guys can practice. I'm gonna put some landmines in here for you guys. So you guys ready? All right. So I could be the man I want to be and live the life I want to live if I didn't procrastinate as much as I do. I should really be more timely. I should really pay more attention to my time. I don't want to be rude to others, so sometimes I procrastinate or I don't enforce my boundaries. So I could be the man I want to be and live the life I want to live if I didn't procrastinate. And I'm in. So I feel like we should have some theme music. Da, 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 da. That's it. Yeah. So let's hear it, man. So let's get a couple of responses. How many things did you hear of the but, not, or should? Julian?
I think it were 6 times.
Okay. All right. Nice. Anyone else?
Yeah, I saw 3 at least that had landed on me. So yeah, 3 at least.
Sweet. Excellent. Anyone else?
I better get it right, so I'm not going to answer.
Well, I think you got, well, it's all good. So I think you all get what we're going to do here. So we're going to, based on time, we're going to give a minute. Okay. I'll keep time. You'll see this if we're getting close to time, and that's like within 5 seconds. So let's try to wrap it up. All right. And then we're going to take about a minute and then check in to see how much we heard. All right. And then we're going to explain why we're doing this. So I'm going to call on the men that are going to go. We're going to start off with Brian, Jeff, then Kerry. All right. Brian, whenever you're ready to go, you are on.
Wow. So I could be the man that I want to be if I could enforce my boundaries, if I could control my time, if I could prioritize, Hmm. Wow, that's enough for me.
Nice job, Brian. Yep. You in?
I could be the man I want to be and live the life I want to have if I didn't fear the outcomes, if I didn't overthink things, if I didn't be so conditional with my love. I'm in.
Nice, Jeff. Thank you for sharing, man. Thank you. Carrie. Actually, guys, we're just going to do the check-in, then we'll wrap it up at the end. Carrie.
I could be the man I want to be and live the life I want to live if I could get my health issues where I've got more energy and more clarity and more alertness. If I develop the online businesses or programs that I'm a coach for. And if I can continue to support my wife in fulfilling her passions and the things she loves to do. And I'm in with that.
Nice, Carrie. Thank you for your truth, brother. All right, we're going to go Boysen, Michael, and Odie.
Boysen. I could be the man I want to be and live the life I want to live if, I've said that a few times, if, and I'm going to go crass and sarcastic, if motherfuckers weren't blowing up my phone every minute of the goddamn day, if I didn't book appointments as much as I do, if I didn't commit to the number of things that I was committing, fucking Levitt is calling me right now from inside the house.
That low.
Yeah. If I didn't say yes to everything, I'm in.
Oh, thank you. Nice, man. Michael, Odie.
If I didn't procrastinate, if I actually put myself out there, and I had more discipline, especially around exercise, and I'm in.
Nice, Michael. Thank you. Odie, John, and Julian.
Oh, shoot. I lost the chat.
I'll give it to you.
Oh, yeah.
No, I got it.
Okay.
So I could be the man I want to be and live the life I want to live if I was better at marketing, if I made more money during this retirement, if I managed time better, if I didn't overcommit, and if I wasn't so involved with MKP. I'm in.
Thank you. Nice, Odie. Appreciate you, man. John and Julian. And John, stop calling Boysen.
When I execute on the plan I've made for myself, I could be the man I want to be and live the life I want to live if.
Thanks, Evan.
I ain't biting.
Thanks, John.
No, let him go. Keep going.
I could be the man I want to be and live the life I want to live if I only hadn't met Carmil 10 years ago, and if I didn't attend fucking NWTA 2 years ago, and if I wasn't German.
Nice.
Oh.
Blessings, Julian. Nice. Paul, then Carmil, and then Bruce. We're going to have you check in.
I could be the man I want to be and live the life I want to live if I could learn how to say no and stay with that no. If I could honor myself and the needs that I have for my own self. If I could believe in who I am and what I have. And if I could let go and just be. I'm in.
Nice, Paul. Thank you. Carmil?
Yeah. I could be the man I want to be and live the life I want to live if I had more confidence and more opportunity to create finances and quit shaming myself. Amen.
Yeah, nice, Carmel. Bruce, welcome. My name is Paul. I'm one of the facilitators for Change Your Words, Change Your Life. We're doing a check-in right now. If I could be the man I want to be and live the life I want to live, if. You're on mute now.
There we got
now
you.
You're off.
Now you're up.
Bruce, you're back on.
Back on mute. There you go.
So I have really bad connection here. I'm on audio only, but excuse my lateness, but Ben, if to be the man I have the potential to be, or words to that effect, wow, constantly learning, having an inquisitiveness about myself and others, having really close contacts frequently with others, and really listening, and then giving myself away to some higher cause. And within that, really be balanced in my archetypal energies.
Cool. Awesome.
Nice. Thank you, man. Thanks, Bruce. So, men, how many of the buts, the not configurations, shoulds did you hear? Did you hear them? There we go. Like listen, sometimes they can be slippery, right? And the thing we teach, we guide on how to reframe that. Now, there's I heard another thing in there, but before I go,
gentlemen, I'm going to have to leave
further.
and try to reconnect.
Okay.
Okay.
Gotcha, Bruce.
Thanks, Bruce. Before we move on, what was that experience like listening or tuning into those three words? Carrie?
I actually have a question. Does the word didn't include as a not?
Yes.
Okay. Because I did hear a number of didn'ts as opposed to the nots.
Yep. It's really like the not configuration. Like I wouldn't, couldn't, didn't, shouldn't. Yeah. Anything else? What was that like tuning in? Was that like, and recognizing some of those things? I heard before, like some things landed for some men. I heard that before with you, Jeff. What was it like when some of these things landed?
For me, I heard some of the words that weren't exactly the but, should, or not. And I just wanted to go, whoa, I just wanted to like stop somebody and word cop them and all that kind of stuff. So that was interesting.
Very interesting. Carmil, you want to talk to that piece, man? With Jeff, and thank you for that, Jeff.
Yeah, I counted 17, and they were mostly knots. And there was also some implied shoulds that came across as coulds. That kind of got reworked in there. But I'm curious too, did any of you feel any of those when you heard them in your body? Did you recognize something happening in your body when you heard those? Yeah, Jeff, what'd you feel?
Yeah, like I was saying, I felt like hey, don't, no. I wanted to stop people and be much more positive. Just kind of word copying.
Cool. Yeah, cool. Yeah, this is a great exercise to get familiar with it. Hi, Stephen. And where we go from beyond this is the self-talk. How much of the shoulds and the buts and the nots are happening upstairs in the cranium all day long? And how much stress does that bring on in the body? And how does that really diminish your capacities when you're triggering yourself? Well, I know when I trigger myself, I need to go for a walk or do something else because I just fry myself with my knots, butts, and shoulds. And then we go to a few other ones that will sneak up later, but those are the three main ones. And so we want to do another quick round and practice how do we say those things differently, and then notice what that's doing in your body. So as we roll into the next piece, we're going to put up in the chat one question. Carrie, you want to put that in or you want me to? I can cut and paste it.
Oh, the reframes, I can do it.
Okay. Just put in one at a time, and we'll have the reframe in there, or the question in there. And then as you see that, if you can reframe that free of those three words, speak it out. How would you say that differently?
And I think, well, actually, from what I can recall, Brian was the one that was free of any of the three. Yeah.
Yep.
So
Bruce and
Brian,
John also.
I
Yeah.
love it. Yes.
Well,
Yep.
There you go. Yeah, Bruce. Yes, this is true. Got it. Yep. John, nice word. Nice word. All right. So cool. Carmel, ready to rock?
Yeah. Let me grab this.
Okay.
So, everyone.
So this thing that when we talk about this, and you're seeing this in the chat, when we're going into switching the language, one of the easy ones is, as Carrie mentioned, switching the but with end. Now, one of the reasons that we're going to do this reframe thing is we're going to want you to, or I would like you to focus on what you think, what you feel, what you see. Think, feel, want, see. Okay. Now, in this case, we'd like you to make a statement. A statement. And that could be, I think I want to take a Epsom salt bath after this call. Yep. John Johnson calls me. He knows me and Epsom salt bath are like this. All right. So that's my statement. So let's give it a go. Let's give it a shot. So this time, Paul, we're going to start with you, then Boyson, then Julian.
So you want think, feel, want, or see?
Yep, a statement. It can be on anything. Yep.
I think when this is over that I want to go sit on the beach, see the water, and feel the sand.
I put them all in there.
This guy. This guy.
Wow.
Nice, Paul. Boyson, Julian.
Seriously? I see how much more effective I am when I feel what I'm feeling and move through the day.
There we go. Owned it. Nice, B. Julian, Brian. Oh, Brian, you're good. Julian, Jeff, then John. Oh, John's good too. Julian, Jeff, then Odie.
I think when I get up at this time of the night, I feel tired. And I certainly want to see more of this. It's worth it.
Oh, nice, Julian. Good job, bud. Jeff, Odie.
Yeah, I think I'm just gonna veg out and watch some TV after this. A little more confident. It's been a long day. I want to feel more positive about myself. Just more. I have all these no's in my head, and I'd like to feel more positive about it. And I see myself being that way. It's nice to be in a group of men who can see all of that too. Clear some of that out. Thanks.
Cool. Thank you.
Nice, man. Odie, then Michael.
I think this is a great exercise, and I feel elated when my partner walks into the house.
Cool.
Nice, Odie. Michael.
I think I'm going to have something great to eat when we're done with this, and I will know I will feel wonderful when I'm done.
Cool.
Nice.
Awesome.
That made me feel good. Thank you, Michael. Nice. And Carrie, and then Steve, we're going to have you give it a go.
So I think that I want to go and feel full eating something and see some TV tonight.
Nice, Carrie. There we go. Steve, you want to give it a go? You're on mute.
I'll pass for now, thank you. I got in here late, so I'll just soon listen to the other guys.
No worries.
You got it, man. Good to see you, man.
Thank you.
Carmil, you want to make a statement before you do the wrap up on this, man?
Yeah. Being clear about what I observe, clean about what I feel and think, allows me to improve my connections and my communication. And so what I observed is, because I watch a lot of body language, is I saw a lot less recoil when those words were bypassed. And it's a subconscious registering that does create that stress response. And if I can use this language, particularly when I'm stressed, the outcomes I've discovered are much better. And I think Boyson is the one person that could attest that when I carefully choose my words, I have a better outcome.
Don't know what you're talking about.
Yes.
Cool. So, want to wrap?
Yeah. Well, I want to. This is something I want to talk to, because, listen, guys. Another piece that we talk to in this course is, what are the ways that we make these conscious switches? And we just took you through a couple samples of that. First was the awareness, being aware of what we say, becoming aware of what we're feeling, okay? And then also becoming aware of what we're thinking, right? And one of the other components that we're teaching in the course is how to regulate our brain so we can get out of that fight or flight and get more into the process of becoming aware of our thoughts and then being able to make the reframe. So when we're doing this, the reason we do this way is because we've inherited this language of competition, this language of survival, and it separates us. It brings about aggression. It disconnects us from ourselves, and then it disconnects us from others. It brings about fight or flight and a ton of fear. And then when that happens, I'll speak for myself. I'm free of wanting to connect. I feel isolated. I feel sadness. I feel anger around that. And there, in those spaces, it's difficult, or I find challenges in communicating effectively. So before we wrap up, one of the things that we're teaching is something called a BBQ. Okay. I love those things, by the way. And this is different than the regular BBQ I'm thinking of, with nice slow cooked ribs and maybe some whatever. But anyway, the BBQ is the breath before the question. So we have a series of questions that we talk to and we educate men on. That's going to be in the course that the learners will have. And what we're going to work with now is a breathing technique to help and support you when, I don't know about you all, but there's some times in the day when either I get irritated and cranky, I get brain fog from freaking too much Zoom, I'm seeing like geometric symbols from this damn light, and I need to calm myself. So what we're going to do is something called an alternate nostril breathing technique. Has anyone heard of this? If so, look, can I get a hands up? Okay. Oh, perfect. Okay, so great. So listen, so some men have heard of this. For men that have yet to hear this, what this is, it's a breathing technique that will begin to merge the two sides of your brain. One side of the brain is more the analytical. The other side of the brain is more the creative. When we can start to merge the two, we can bring what's called the thinking or the executive brain, where we can be able to make those distinctions in regards to what we think, feel, and see. So what I'm going to have you do is we're going to take your index and your middle finger and then place it on the inside of your palm. So you have your thumb and this ring finger here. Now you can use either hand. Well, actually, in this case, let's use our right hand, so we're all in uniform. And then I'm going to have you take your thumb, your right thumb, place it on your right nostril. You're going to take an inhale through your left nostril, and then an exhale. Exhale. Okay. Once you're done with that nostril, you're going to close your left nostril with your right ring finger and then open up your right nostril. Inhale, exhale. Let your shoulders, allow your shoulders to drop if they want to. You can be free holding attention. Close up, switch it up again. Get the full inhale, exhale on one nostril and get the inhale, exhale on the next one. Now, take a nice breath and release your nostrils. That's one variation. And now to really merge the two, we're going to inhale up one nostril, exhale down the other. So again with the hand, let's close our right nostril, inhale through our left nostril, close both of them and pause, then open up your right nostril, exhale. Inhale through your right nostril, close, pause, open up your left, exhale. Inhale through your left nostril, close, exhale through your right. Release and breathe. How are we feeling? Now, the benefit of the breath, it brings oxygen to our blood, to our brain, to our blood. It helps us to be more in the moment, be more present. Our objective when we're talking about change your words, change your life, yes, it is about the words, and it's about really cracking the code on how we can harness the power of language and transform our life and every relationship that we have. And the most important relationship, the relationship we have with ourselves. When we can start to listen and be aware of what we're saying and how we're saying it to ourselves, we're even going to become more aware of how we're saying it to others. And that changes the whole game on what's going on in your relationships. I mean, Boyson, I've known you for some years. You know me and my former wife, like rams, baby, like rams. And the fact that we can have, and John, you too, man. You too, you're my mentor through all this, man. And the fact that right now we can have a conversation, telephone, care about each other, this was a major component to this shifting. So with that, I want to open up any questions that we have, that you guys have, or Carmel, if there's anything else you want to add to it. The course, one thing, the course, if you want to register for the course, is wordsmatter1.eventbrite.com. And we got a special goodie discount for you guys too. So Carmil, anything else?
Yeah, so what the breathing, the alternate nostril breathing and the breathing prior to the question is really allowing us to move to that upper part of the brain where we can engage in a conversation. That's why we do it. Notice how it clears that fog, it clears that tension so that I can actually think and explain and share and listen, which is where that game changing Paul's talking about. So yeah, you want to put the class
Yep, doing it right now.
We go more into how the neuroscience of the words we use affects the brain. We go into whether it's left brain thinking, right brain feeling, how to recognize that in the other person you're speaking to. Therefore, you'll understand what language they're going to hear. You'll understand what needs and wants they have. And that's like playing cards, and the other person has their cards backwards and you get to see their hand. It's an amazing tool to have a conversation and you can completely see what the other person's experiencing and working through, and they can see you just as authentically. So thank you for listening to us.
I'd like to, before you go into the questions, I want to say, John, thanks for being here tonight. I know that you have to leave early to go to another call. And thanks for being Paul's mentor, like many other men you're mentoring. Brian, why don't you tell us what's next?
If I unmute, that'll work. So we've got several things coming up that are exciting. John on the 9th is going to be lead a presentation on the 2050 effort, which is a big effort that we're doing in the project, developing a plan, getting input, getting insight from people in the project where MKP should be in 2050. So that'll be an exciting discussion and an opportunity for people to engage in feedback.
So is that where MKP should be, or MKP wants to be?
It's what men in the project want MKP to be. And you can take it from there. And from that, there'll be a strategic plan that'll be developed, both a tactical plan for the near term 2025 era, as well as that very long-ranging plan, the 2050. So that's on the 9th. And then on the 15th, the next front porch is the crossroad training, the new training that David Carr and about 40 men from the project have been working almost a year in developing, which will be exciting. In fact, they're having the first meeting tonight for the first session of the Crossroads training. So that should be an exciting opportunity on the 15th.
Thanks, Brian. I'm going to throw you a little bit of a curve. Boyson, do you have anything you want to just add in terms of programming or things that are going on?
Oh my gosh, really? Crossroads is exciting. The alpha training happening with Crossroads. We have the Living Through Disruption course. There's still a couple of seats open for September, that 6-week course. We have a young men's course coming out in the next month for designed for 18 to 39-year-olds called Impact. And we have another Waking Up to Whiteness. We have another intercultural competency training that's going to be launching in the next month. There's just a whole lot of stuff coming.
Thanks, Boyson, for letting me catch you off guard like that. You can't give me a lot of extra time. First, I want to. That's it. You just, yeah, there you go. See, I'm just throwing them out there. I'm going to try to use the words too while I've got these 4 words in front of me. Thank you, Carmel and Paul. What I think is happening here in the project and in this room right now is that the intimacy and the way you bring to us the opportunity to change our life makes a big difference. So I want you to hear that. I want you to see that, and I want you to know that, and I really want you to feel that. It is a huge difference. When we created these front porches, the idea was really that we could start to show the different things that were coming about. We started this in May, and this is the 9th program that we put on. We wanted to let everybody know what was available and what was going on as we went through COVID, the early stages of going through COVID. We really wanted everybody to know how excited it was that was happening as a result of our curiosity and agility to move around all the different things that were going on. And so we wanted to show some of these programs, and this is one of the many that have been coming out. And even maybe more importantly, what we wanted to be clear was it was important to stay connected. And this program tonight, with 13 or 14 of us in this room, really showcased what it's like to be able to be vulnerable and open in a time like this. Numbers aren't important. The depth of what we're doing and what we're learning and how we're changing is really what's important. And it's happening in the project, and it's happening every day in the project. So I'm really grateful for the difference that you guys are all making in this room, the difference you're making right now in yourselves and how you carry that out into your communities and the world. These are complicated times. We all are struggling in our own ways and confused in many ways. I want to encourage us all to stay curious and agile and not hold on too tight, because this is quite a roller coaster we're on. So thanks for that. I don't have anything more except to be grateful to you. I want you to be happy in your lives, and I want you to get what you need. And I believe you are. So thank you. I'm out. We're out. Time to go.